Hiya, my name is Chris. I study cartoon and comic arts and I'm from Greece.
Hi, my name's Emma. I'm studying a Masters in Digital Forensics and I'm half Italian, half English. Welcome to Staffordshire Uni.
And we're going to take you on a tour of the entire campus.
This is our amazing Catalyst building filled with social, study and teaching spaces and some great cafes. This is the Ashley building where you can find the library core, which is our main library, where you can find most of our books except for the ones of art and design, which are based in the library creative. So this is the Ashley 2 building where you can find the mock courtroom and our legal advice clinic, which is staffed by students and supervised by legal practitioners. Here you can also find our healthcare facilities, which include clinical simulation suites. This is our full-size Astro pitch, and just behind there we've got another 3 pitches, and this is where our sports clubs train. This is a sports centre which is named after the Stoke City player Sir Stanley Matthews. It has gym facilities and a sports hall which is used by many of our sports teams to train. So this is Coalport, where our Res Life team is based. They manage all our university accommodation and they have coordinators which are based here daily, and during term time they're here till late night, so if you have any problems you can just talk to them. This is part of our student accommodation. Behind me you can see the Leek Road houses, and just a bit further back you can see one of our Leek Road halls. This is LRV, where our weekly club night takes place, which is called Gobble, as well as other events. This is Verve, where you can grab a coffee, chill out, do some work during the day, and then on Wednesdays and Fridays you can grab a cocktail as well. This is a Leek Road Union shop, which is close to our accommodation, so if you're ever missing any essentials you can come and grab them here. So this is a science centre where our psychology, forensics, biological sciences and sports science courses are based, and you can also find Student Connect, the sports therapy clinic and the careers team. So this is a woodlands nursery that brings a forest into our city campus. It is available for day spaces for preschool children, of our staff members, students and our local community, and outside of term time it also has spaces available for older children.
This is the 𝐶𝐷𝐻 courtyard, where you can find courses such as architecture, the foundation in art and design, cartoon and comic arts and fine arts. This is where you can find the courses for music and sound and film and their respective studios, so students can study in a secluded space with their own studio and equipment. This is the 𝐶𝐷𝐻 building, where you can find the games related courses as well as the biggest motion capture room in all of European academia. The library creative can also be accessed through the 𝐶𝐷𝐻 building and is dedicated to the art and design department and all related courses. The train station is literally around the corner from this building, and there are a number of bus stops with frequent routes going all the way up to Hanley. This is the Flaxman building, and courses held here include film production and education. This is also where you can find Staffs Live, where students can record their own media programs, and it's also where the Student Connect podcast is recorded. This is the Beacon building, home to the esports courses and the esports hub, as well as the Pavilion Cafe. This is the Mellor building, home to computing and engineering courses, as well as Smart Zone that has facilities such as 3D printing where our engineering students can work. The Mellor is also home to our cutting-edge virtual production studio. This is the Henria Media Center, and it loans specialist equipment for a variety of courses such as the film production and photography. The Squeeze Box is an excellent place where you can grab a milkshake, a smoothie, a coffee or a meal deal before or after your lectures. This building houses the student union offices upstairs and the Ember Lounge downstairs. The Ember Lounge is a great place that hosts nightlife activities such as karaoke and quiz night. This is the Dwight building, home to product design, transport design and ceramics, as well as the automotive workshops. Thank you for coming with us on this campus tour.
We hope to see you very soon.
And if you want to find out more, please visit our website.
Hope you have a great day.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, students, we are on live today and we have Staffordshire University with us in our live session. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mohammed Faisal Islam Amir. I'm the Senior International Conversion Manager for EN Global Education Limited. And EN Global Education Limited is one of the top education consultancy firm in Bangladesh, and also we are operating in Nigeria, India, Pakistan as well. We provide free services for UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, and USA. Today, just to let you know, we are UK direct partners with 70+ universities. So today we have one of our prominent partner, that is University of Staffordshire. We have with us Elli, the international officer for Staffordshire. Hi, hello, Elli. How are you?
Hi, Faisal. I'm good, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. and thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're most welcome, and thank you very much for attending our live session. And with your busy schedule, you're taking time out to attend this live session. Thank you very much for that. Now, could you please introduce, I know like we know you very well, but could you please introduce you to our students? Thank you very much.
Of course. So my name is Ellie, and as Faisal said, I work at the University of Staffordshire. So we have recently rebranded. What you might have known as Staffordshire University, we're now slightly new. So you can see in the background here of my camera that we're the University of Staffordshire. So I'm the international officer, and myself and my manager, Babs, we look after Bangladesh.
Okay, that's great. Could you please, can you please talk about your university's history and the location, subject that you're offering, and the tuition fees, entry requirements, and the documents needed for the Bangladeshi student? Could you please elaborate more about those things? Thank you.
Of course. So the University of Staffordshire is based in the heartland of the UK. So it's based in Staffordshire. That is the county town. Staffordshire is a county in the UK, is known as the Creative County. And this is where our history was really made as a university. So it started off with mining and ceramics. And then later on, we became a polytechnic university. And this is where we really started to begin our venture into the digital world. So obviously this was a number of years back now, but that's when we started to do computing, and we've only increased our amount of digital and technological courses that we've done since then. So as a university, as I mentioned, we're based in Staffordshire. Within Staffordshire, we have two campuses. So we have our main Stoke-on-Trent campus, which is what you saw in that video there. So hopefully that's given you a really nice flavour of what the campus is like. So it has everything on campus. We then also have a second campus in Stafford, which is about 30 minutes away from Stoke-on-Trent. And this is our Centre of Health Innovation. So this is purely for our nursing, paramedic science, operating department practice, and midwifery. So it's a fantastic state-of-the-art facility. And then we have a final smaller satellite campus in London. So obviously this is great for students who really want that connection to the large capital city of England. But it is dedicated just for a very few select of our computing and games courses. But that's in terms of like where we are based as a university. And each campus has its own sort of vibe. But all of the courses that we offer are based at Stoke-on-Trent, which again is what you saw in those videos there with our lovely ambassadors. In terms of the different courses that we offer, we kind of have 5 key areas. So again, this goes back to the history of where the university comes from. So we have the creative subjects. So we have things such as ceramics, art and design, illustration. And then we have the more digital aspect of art and design in terms of games art, concept for games and film, architecture, and those sides of things as well. In addition to that, we have our computing courses. So these are things such as cybersecurity, AI, cloud and network computing. We then have our engineering courses, which include mechanical engineering, automotive and motorsport, which again, you saw the garage there for our automotive. We also have software development. We then also have our science-based courses. So we have psychology, we have biomedical science, and forensic science as well, which is actually the course that I did at Staffordshire University a few years ago. And then alongside that, we have our law. And I'm sure there's definitely some courses that I'm missing there, but that kind of gives you an idea of the types of courses that we have on offer. We offer the majority of our courses at both bachelor's and master's. Depending on what you're wanting, some of the master's courses are a little bit more specific. So, for example, we have mechanical engineering with renewable energy systems, whereas that's not available at undergrad, but it might be something that you would cover in that particular topic. So all of our degrees are 3 years. So you will study that particular subject that you choose for 3 years at undergrad. And if you're choosing to study at master's, it will be 1 year. So that's sort of how that sort of works there. Do you want me to keep going, Faisal?
Yeah, please go ahead, please. Our student wants to know more about the university. Yeah, please carry on.
Wonderful. Okay, that's great. So in terms of our scholarships that we have available, so all of those courses that I've mentioned there would be eligible for our SMART scholarship. So our SMART scholarship would be awarded if we are able to give you an offer onto any of our courses. The only courses that are not available for our SMART scholarship are anything that's done via distance learning, anything that is in our nursing, social work course portfolio, and also our PhD programs. They are also not eligible for the SMART scholarship. But all other courses, which are the vast majority, will be eligible for that SMART scholarship of £3,000. For those that are studying our undergraduate degrees, you would be awarded that £3,000 each year of study. So that's saving up to £9,000 in tuition fees, which is fantastic. Now, of course, there's our scholarships. What actually are our fees? So our tuition fees before the scholarship are £16,750 per year. And that is your tuition fees that you would have to pay. And then obviously you have those scholarships on top. If anybody is interested in any of our nursing courses, so that's nursing with specialties in adult, child or mental health, that fee is £19,000. And again, we don't have the scholarship available for that, but all of our other courses that we do. In terms of additional scholarships, that is the only scholarship that we do have. But if you are able to secure any external scholarships, we are more than happy to obviously hear about that. You just need to inform us that once we have given you an offer, and we can process that there for you.
Is it a merit-based scholarship, right? It's like kind of like merit-based scholarship.
So
other student needs to apply individually or something.
So they don't need to apply individually. If you meet our entry requirements and we give you an offer, that will in that offer, it will detail that scholarship there for them. So it will tell them in that offer letter that they are eligible. So obviously meeting our entry requirements is the first thing, getting that offer from us, and then in that offer letter, it will confirm if they have that scholarship, but they do not need to apply separately for it, which I think is nice because it makes it much easier process.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll keep talking if there are any questions.
No, you can go ahead. That's fine. You can.
Fabulous. Okay. So in terms of what we need from you in terms of entry requirements, we would be looking for our bachelor's degree. We would be looking for an HSC with a minimum of 75%, or we would need a 4.0 of GPA plus the 2 years of an ordinary undergraduate degree with a minimum grade of 60%. That's what we'd be looking for our undergraduate degrees. In terms of for our postgraduate degrees, on our course pages, it will detail whether or not the course needs equivalent to a 2-1 or a 2-2 degree. So a second class first degree or a second class second degree. For this, the majority of our courses will need a 2-2, but again, it is mentioned on the individual course pages what they need. And that would be a 4-year bachelor's degree from a recognised university in a relevant subject of 3.0 basically is what we're looking for out of 4 for our master's degrees. Now, some of the courses are slightly different. So again, if there are any differences, these are mentioned on our course pages. Or you can, of course, speak to your counsellors at EN Global, or you can contact us directly if you have any slightly differences in those entry requirements there. Some of the courses also require work experience or work experience or additional sort of, what's the word? Yeah, we'll just go with work experience. We'll go with work experience, probably. So you would have to provide a CV and an employer reference for that. We do also accept study gaps. So if there are any students that are looking to come and continue doing their master's degree in the UK, but they've been working in the field in a relevant job to where they're wanting to do their master's degree subject in. We accept those study gaps, but we would have to assess that on a case-by-case basis. So if you have a study gap, make sure you have a really up-to-date CV. You're able to provide us with a recent employer reference. And also, in addition to your personal statement, your statement of purpose, which I'll come on to in a moment, you will also need to make a statement as to what you have been doing in that study gap period and why you now wish to come to study again. It's really important that this is something that is highlighted and touched upon, because it also has implications in terms of for a student visa. So we want to make sure that we have that there. So in terms of the personal statement, so we talked about the entry requirements that we need academically. I'll come on to the English language ones very shortly. But the other aspect is the statement of purpose or personal statement. Now, this is where you get that opportunity to tell us why you want to come to study in the UK, why you want to come and study at the University of Staffordshire, and why you want to study that particular subject. How is that going to help you become a more educated person to reach your goals that you have in life, in your career? So this is where we really want you to show your personality and talk about, as I say, how this course is going to help you reach those goals. And again, if you have a study gap, you would also add in there what you've been doing in that study gap period. All the other things that you provide at application are all obviously just certificates and transcripts. It's you on a piece of paper, but the personal statement is for you to be able to show who you are. So make sure you put that personality in there and really tell us why we'll be able to help you achieve those goals that you have. So in terms of the English language requirements, so again, as part of our entry requirements, you will have to meet specific English language. And this is also, again, part of the student visa application process. So I am just going to, if you don't mind me 2 seconds, because we have a number of different English language qualifications that we will accept, and I just want to make sure that I get all the right details there for you. So the main one that we accept is IELTS. So we're looking for IELTS 6 with no lower than 5.5 in each component. There are some courses that do need slightly higher qualifications. For example, our MBA needs 6.5 with no lower than 6. If you're wanting to do our social work at postgrad, you would need a 7. So all of these information is, again, put on those individual course pages. So if you're not 100% sure, that's the best place to look. So we accept IELTS of 6.0 for the majority of our courses, or for all of our courses, sorry, but again, some of them need those slightly higher. We also accept equivalences in this. So this includes the PT academic, where we would need 59 overall with no lower than 54 in any category. We also accept the TOEFL IBT and the TOEFL IBT Home Edition. And in that, we would need these very specific ones in the 4 different categories. So we need 17 in listening, speaking we would need 20, 18 in reading, and 18 in writing. We do also accept the language cert, academic, with 65 overall with no less than 60 in each component. There are some other English language that we accept, such as if we have any IB students, IGCSE, things like that. But again, all of these are listed on the website. So that is something that is available for you to double check. But overall, the basics thing for you guys to remember is that we are looking for that IELTS of 6. but double check those course pages for that. So hopefully that covers what you need academically, English language, and then also your personal statement. Then obviously for anybody that has a study gap, we also covered the additional documentation that you need there. So you'll have seen as I've been going through, talking about lots of different levels of courses that we have. So we have our undergraduate courses, our bachelor's and our master's. All of our master's courses that we have available are masters of, are taught masters. So we don't currently have any masters of research.
Okay.
But we do have our PhDs, as I mentioned. The PhD application process is slightly different. So if you are interested in doing a PhD at Staffordshire, the first thing for you to do would obviously to be speaking to your counsellor at EN Global, because we have to start a communication with the potential supervisor, which is very different to if you wanted to apply directly to us for any of our undergraduate or master's courses. For students that don't quite meet our undergraduate courses, we do have foundation courses. Our foundation courses are actually course specific. So it's not an international foundation year. It's not there to improve your English. It is there to improve your knowledge in that particular subject. So for example, if you wanted to do mechanical engineering, you would start on our general engineering foundation year. Subject to you passing that, you would then continue on to mechanical engineering. So it is an integrated subject-specific foundation year. We have the same things for our computing, for our art and design courses. So please bear that in mind if that's something that you would need. They have the same course fee, and obviously the entry requirements are slightly lower. So if for any reason you didn't meet our entry requirements, we would offer you a foundation year, or of course you can apply directly for a foundation year as well. The other thing to mention, as a university, we are very ingrained in the local community and in industry. So what this really means in practice is that we will do our absolute best to ensure you have some form of work experience, whether this is in the form of a full year internship, whether this is a shorter internship, or whether it is working with employers during your actual course through live briefs that they provide that you work on, or through our competitions that we have, our conferences such as GradX and the Degree Show. So because we have these links, we have students that have some amazing opportunities that they can take advantage of and use. Obviously, depending on where the students are based or the type of industry internships they can receive. So, for example, if a student's based in London, we've got the London-based internships that we have. And then if it's in Staffordshire, because of where we're based, we're so easily located to other bigger cities. So I should have mentioned earlier, Stoke-on-Trent, our campus is right next to the train station, like you saw in that video. You can get to Manchester in 40 minutes and Birmingham in 50 minutes on the train. And the train station is literally right there. So, you know, Birmingham is the second largest city in the UK. The amount of internships and opportunities that are there are vast. And then you also have more locally the local businesses as well. So our Career Connect team and the academics will support students for these placement opportunities. The majority of our courses have the opportunity for you to take a full placement year. You can't apply initially for placement years. It is something that once you arrive in country, you have started your course, you would then speak to our international student support team and the Career Connect team to make sure you can secure that placement. And then our international student support team would enable you to get a visa extension and all of that sort of stuff.
Is it like during the time of the course they're going to apply, or it has to be like before they start the course?
It would be whilst they're actually studying the course.
Okay.
Yeah, so once they're already in country, once you are doing your lessons, once you can actually speak to local employers, so you can do the applications and the interviews and all those sorts of things with the support of our Career Connect team and your academics. So it'll be done actually in country, so it can't be done beforehand.
Okay, that's fine.
The other thing to mention, though, is if you don't want to, add that extra time, obviously it is the benefit of having a UK degree being 3 years long. Having an internship makes it 4, which is obviously standard for lots of other places in the world. But if students aren't wanting to do that full year, like I mentioned, you have the opportunity to do placements over the summer. Or if you have the opportunity to take part in our conferences. So I mentioned GradX and I mentioned the degree show. So GradX is for our science and computing and digital aspects. And then the degree show is for our art and design based subjects. Now, what happens within these 2 conferences is that students will showcase their piece of work that they have done. Generally speaking, it's in their research period, so it will be in their final year of their undergraduate degree or in their dissertation of their master's. And they will showcase that work, and local people within the industry will come and judge that work. So there's the opportunity to win prize money. There's the opportunity to also get placements, and people also get job offers. So this is a really fantastic opportunity. I'm going to use myself here as an example. So again, I mentioned before that I studied forensics at Staffordshire, and I took part in GradX for my particular year. I won my category, so I got £100, which was very nice. And then also the person that judged me was the Chief Constable of Staffordshire Police. So, can't get much higher than that. And it was quite nerve-wracking to meet somebody so high up in the police force. But from him judging and looking at my work, obviously he gave me first place, but I also got a placement from that. I was able to then go and work with them for 3 months, and I got some invaluable experience, and that was purely from me being in GradX. So you really can get these fantastic opportunities from doing these different placements. And as I say, that is something that is ingrained in all of the courses. We want to make sure that you are ready to get a job, excel in that job, and not just come out with a really good degree. We want to make sure that you are work ready. And our facilities match this. So you will hopefully have seen some of the really cool things that we have, such as our simulation suites and our immersion suites, as well as our, our state-of-the-art computing labs, such as our closed networking lab for ethical hacking. You've got your specialist and personal spaces for the art and design students. So it really enables students, you guys, to get the best opportunities from that in a wide range of courses. Alongside the academics part of the university life, obviously you've got the social life, you've got being in the local area, the fun stuff. Yes, you're here to obviously get a degree, but you're also here to experience the UK, experience Stoke-on-Trent or Stafford or London, depending on which campus you're in. And there's so much to do in the local area and on each campus that you can really get involved in. So hopefully, if you guys are interested in studying in the UK in general, you've heard about students' unions. So again, in that video at the beginning, the ambassadors showed some of the students' union venues that we have on campus. So that includes the cafe, the nightclub, and also the shops. The students' union are also the people that look after the clubs and societies. So these are things such as our international student network, such as our Bangladeshi network that we have, things that are more specific in terms of games development society. It might be your love of cooking, it might be your love of gardening, all sorts of different things. Sports, so we're talking football, we're talking basketball, all sorts of different sports, frisbee, for example. all of that
Okay.
side of the university life to really get that full experience is there for all of our students to experience. And that really is what makes the university yours. It's where you find your place, and you also will find new things that you love and meet more people from around the world in that sense. We, of course, have our support services as well that are university based, but the Students' Union also offers those additional support services. So within our support services, we have things such as health and well-being. So we have a doctor on campus at our Stoke-on-Trent campus, for example. We also have our well-being advisors, so they can support you, you know, with your workload, or say you're a bit lonely because you've moved from home and you need to adjust. We have all of those teams right here for you. And then we have our dedicated international student support team as well, which are there to support you with your visa compliance, with your enrolment. If you have any queries, if you want to extend your visa for a placement, that's the team for you there. And they also host a number of events to help you get settled into the UK and the British culture as well. So in terms of I'm going to talk mainly about Stoke-on-Trent here. So in terms of Stoke-on-Trent, living in Stoke-on-Trent, we have our campus accommodation. So we have 3 main types of accommodation. So we have our Clarice-Cliff Court. This is our ensuite accommodation. And so you have your own bathroom, but you share your kitchen. We then have our Leek Road houses, where it's around six people, might be a little bit more, sharing a house, of which you have a large bathroom, sometimes a shower room as well, and a really lovely kitchen and social space. And then you have our Leek Road halls. So our Leek Road halls are the very traditional university accommodation. So there's 12 to 14 of you in there, a massive kitchen and a lovely lounge area. Again, you have each your own sort of space and cupboards in there. And then you share a large bathroom, which has 3 showers and 3 toilets in there. And obviously you have your own bedroom. On average, so the prices depend on which one you're going for. We're looking around about £5,000 per year for that. So it's a 39-week contract for our on-site accommodation. For students that don't want to live on accommodation on site, we have our Students' Union letting agency called GreenPad, so they can support you to find private accommodation. There's loads of private accommodation nearby the university. So whether that's a traditional terraced house that you're sharing, whether it is a more modern, similar setup to like a flat student accommodation, you have that too. Tends to be that a private accommodation can be a little bit cheaper, but we strongly advise that that's where you would move in your 2nd and 3rd year of your degree, or maybe if you're a master's student and you don't want to live with 18-year-olds. But living in the university campus accommodation is really beneficial to you because it has lots of additional support that they can offer you. It's obviously a safe space being on campus. You have 24-hour security. You also get a gym membership in your accommodation fee for free, so you can access the gym for that. And there's just those additional kind of home comfort. So for example, if you live on campus, when you apply for the accommodation, which you apply through our ResLife portal, which you can do as soon as you have an offer from us, you can also ask for a free bedding pack and kitchen pack. So when you arrive in the UK, you don't have to think about those additional things to get, which obviously just makes everything a little bit easier. In terms of Stoke-on-Trent in general, we're in the top 5 most affordable places to live for students in the UK. So your money is going to go a little bit further. As everything is on campus, you don't need to pay for public transport to get places. We have takeaways on the doorstep. We also have loads of different supermarkets of different ranges, obviously, that you can get food from. And also we have lots of international supermarkets as well. So hopefully you'll be able to find your some home comfort food as well for you. So for example, Pack Foods is right on the corner, so it's about maximum 10-minute walk from campus, and it has loads of international foods there for students to get. I love going there myself. That you have those things as well, and that enables, you know, your money to go further. You then also have the train station right on the doorstep if you did want to go and explore slightly further as well. Is there anything else that you wanted me to cover? I realise I've talked a lot and I've given an awful lot of information. So hopefully you guys are able to...
Yeah, you have pretty much covered most of the parts that the student needs to know. And there are like few question comes like in regards to UG courses, undergraduate courses. Do you accept like any sort of gap for that one? Like,
yes,
like how long is the duration?
Yeah, so we will accept gaps. Ideally, we don't really want anything more than 2 years. But if you have more than a gap of that, get in touch with us, and we're happy to have a look into that, into the individual circumstances of why there has been a gap. That's absolutely fine. We appreciate, you know, there can be a whole host of different reasons as to why someone hasn't continued their studies straight after you know, finishing those 2 years at the standard university or whatever it might be. So yeah, please get in touch with us. We will assess it. I can't guarantee it, but that's why I say we'll assess it and have a look from there. But generally, we're looking for about 2 years-ish for undergraduate bachelor's degrees.
Okay, and they need to indicate those information on the SOP as well, I believe.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, so another thing I really wanted to talk about, it's like, do you accept like polytechnic background students from Bangladesh?
Yes, we do. So again, they would need to meet those entry requirements in terms of the actual level of the qualification, the degree they got out of it. But yes, we do accept, as long as it's a recognized institution, we would accept them from there.
Okay, and how long is the offer letter turnaround time, like after putting the application?
Okay, so we're really pleased that we're working for a 24 to 48 hour turnaround time. So and obviously the more information that you're able to provide us, we ideally will be able to give you an unconditional offer in that time period. Obviously, if it's a conditional offer, we would then issue that conditional offer in that 24 to 48 hour time period. And then we would be waiting for you to provide those additional conditions. And that obviously is in your hands at that point. But yeah, so 24 to 48 hours is what we're working to in terms of offer letters being provided.
Okay, so now you have talked about the PhD that university is offering. The PhD initial stages, like what sort of document you need? Do you need the, proposal? If it is yes, if you need proposal, how long is the proposal going to be? Like, is it 1,000 words? And also, do you need publication as well?
Okay, so this really depends on the area of the PhD that the student is looking to do. So when we're talking about the process of beginning a PhD, the first thing to do is to have a look on our website under the graduate school, and it will list the particular areas that we are able to facilitate PhDs in. We do also list on there, sometimes we have fully funded PhDs. They're few and far between, but they are sometimes, that's where they'll find them if we have them. On there is then an inquiries form. And that initial inquiry is something that you just have to submit to say, I'm interested in doing this particular course in this sort of area. This is what I'm looking for. The graduate school will then get back to yourselves as the agent and also the student directly. And they will say, okay, please, can you provide some more information? So this more often than not is a proposal. So, and often as well, a CV to see what they've done from their masters. So publications don't necessarily need. but we obviously need to see that they're educated to that master's degree level, and also have that research background, so are confident in research in that particular subject area. So in terms of the proposal length, I can't really give a specific amount. It really depends. It needs to be strong enough to and detailed enough that the potential supervisor can really see that they will be able to support that. For example, do they have the experience to be able to supervise that? Do we have the facilities to support that? So for example, if it's an engineering one, do we have that particular piece of kit that they're talking about in that proposal? So the more detail, obviously, the better. It's not a case of if you submit a proposal and it's not long enough or it's not detailed enough, they immediately go no. They will ask for more information if they feel that they need to do so. So I'll take a student that I've been working with quite closely who's looking to do well, he's now been accepted onto a computer science PhD. So he submitted a proposal. It was about 2 A4 pieces of paper long, typed. And they did ask for some more detail in terms of what he was looking to do in that. Subject to that, they were then really happy. They found a supervisor who had the capacity to support them and also the knowledge. After that, once they had that, they then they are then sent the application form to send. So all of that happens before an application is even submitted. At that point, that's when we would check English language and the other things in more detail in terms of then be able to actually give an offer. So it's kind of, I know that's a bit of an ambiguous answer, but you have to work with us, basically. PhD applications, and we're more than happy to obviously do that alongside our graduate school.
Okay, thank you very much for the information. Now we are going to take some questions from the students. I can see many questions are coming in, so we will take one by one. Let's start with Shumi. How much is the deposit for Staffordshire University for international students?
Very good question. Thank you for asking that. Something that I should have covered. So our deposit for all on-campus courses is £6,500. So that is something that you have to pay once you have an unconditional offer. And that deposit of £6,500 has to be paid via Convera. So we don't accept any other form of payment. The link to pay the deposit will be in the unconditional offer letter, and you can follow that through. Convera is really good because it's really transparent in terms of you as students being able to track where that money is. Obviously, paying international from Bangladesh for it to come to the UK or anywhere else in the world, there's a number of checks that each banks have to do in each country. And on Convera, you'll be able to see that. So we have that deposit of £6,500. There's no further payment at enrolment. The final tuition fee amount, so if you are doing a course that has a scholarship, so that will be £7,250. If you're starting in January, that remaining fee has to be paid by the end of June. If you're starting in September, that remaining amount has to be paid by the end of January. So although it's a large deposit, there's no further payments at enrolment. It's not until the end of your first semester that the remaining fee has to be paid.
Okay. There is another question from the student, that is, does the university offer an early bird scholarship, like any early bird scholarship?
So currently we do not have anything in that field. However, never say never. If you are an offer holder, we will send out a newsletter to you guys every month, which kind of has lots of updates. And if we do ever have anything like that is on offer, we would tell you in that newsletter. So it's really important when you submit an application that you have the correct email address, so we can get in touch with you with anything that any updates like that. But currently we do not have any early bird scholarships.
Okay, so there is a student, he wants to know about LLM course and also the requirements for IELTS. So do you
Yes.
offer like a law-related course in Staffordshire University?
So we do have law at postgraduate. However, it is going through some changes, and this is because students that are interested in LLMs will hopefully be aware of the change from the LPC to the SQE or the SQE. So this is something that as a university we are looking into at the moment. So currently this September was our last LLM legal practice that we've had brought in. So keep your eye on our website for when we have updates in regards to that. But the IELTS, I believe, was 6.5 for the LPC, for the LLM LPC. But at the moment, we don't have that for the next intake that's available.
Okay. And the same student asking whether nursing course available or not.
Yes, so we have nursing at undergraduate level, so bachelor's. So we have nursing in with specialisms in adult, child, or mental health. And they are, all three of those are based at our Stafford campus. And then we also do have adult nursing based at our Stoke campus as well. So we offer those three at undergraduate. We do offer a master's in nursing. However, these are really tricky to get onto. The entry requirements are really strict based on the NMC, so the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and there has to be a number of RPL learning outcomes and hours that are completed in the UK. So at the moment, they are quite tricky for international students to apply for, but we obviously have those undergraduate ones, which we're more than happy to welcome you on to. The big thing with nursing is you will have to take a maths and English test, and we will have to make sure you have the correct level of maths and English, which is normally lower. So it's equivalent to the UK's GCSEs in maths and English, which we'd have to look into. And there is also an interview process in the nursing as well, which the majority of our courses don't have. So that's just something to bear in mind. But again, we can support you through that if you are interested in nursing.
Okay. So another student, Tariq Hassan, he's asking about accommodation. Does the university offer guaranteed accommodation facilities for the international students?
Yes, so any students that will be studying at our Stoke-on-Trent or our Stafford campus, because we have those on-site accommodation, we would guarantee accommodation for you as an international student. In terms of which accommodation you get, so those three that I mentioned to you, I can't guarantee which one you'll get. You have to rank these when you make your Res Life application, but you will definitely get one form of accommodation on campus. So yes, it is guaranteed for Stoke and Stafford.
Okay, that's great. So next question is about, does the university provide airport pickup service?
We don't currently, no.
Okay. Then next question, do you accept 3 years bachelor degree for direct masters?
This is a tricky question. It depends massively. My first answer is going to be no, but it depends on certain different circumstances. So we would need to know more about your circumstances in order to be able to look at that. But as a standard, no. We're looking more for that 2+2.
Okay. Do you accept Duolingo or Oxford ELLT?
We don't, no.
Okay. So now, do you offer BSc nursing courses for general HSC background students?
We do, yes. So we would more than happily receive an application. Again, the nursing is very competitive, and the reason it's competitive is because we can only have as many places on the course as we have placements. So obviously with nursing, it's very placement heavy throughout the course. So subject to you passing the interviews that we have, in terms of if you've got a background in health and social care, you, depending obviously on your grades and things, we would give you the opportunity for that interview, and then it would be a case of passing that. But yes, 100% accept health and social care background. If we have students that don't meet our initial nursing qualification, nursing entry requirements, we have a health and social care foundation year that we would suggest as an alternative offer. So yeah, 100%.
Okay. Hi, there any nursing courses available? I think you have already talked about that. So we have covered that one. So there is another question from the LinkedIn side. It's about someone in management background. Can the person study nursing, or what level of nursing can the person do?
So you'd certainly be eligible to study the undergraduate nursing. You wouldn't be able to do postgrad or master's nursing. You could do the undergraduate. If you already have a bachelor's in any other subject and you are coming to do another bachelor's in something else, again, that would need to be addressed in your personal statement, your statement of purpose, as to why you're doing another degree at the same level. It's very common for UK students, not as well as international students, to do a second degree in nursing. So yes, we would look at that. Again, it would be a case of looking at your maths and English at that equivalent to GCSE level. That would be something that we'd have to look into. But yeah, we would look at that as an application.
Okay. I think that's enough question from the Facebook and the other social media sites. So before I end up this live conversation with you, I'm just wondering, like, what courses, like, are Staffordshire offering all the courses for January intake, or is it specific ones?
Okay, so for January intake, it is specific ones. So we are offering all of our master's business courses. So that includes MBA, International Business Management, International Finance and Accounting, and Digital Media Marketing. We have our computing courses, again, at master's level. So this is cybersecurity, cloud and network. There's 5 in total. But again, we have a separate January course page on our website, which lists all of our January courses. We then also have all of our Masters in Engineering courses that are available. And these are all at Stoke campus. As well as Stoke campus, we have 2 Bachelors of Science, so one in Computer Science and one in Business Management, and these are top-up degrees. So for students that have, equivalent to an HND and want to top up to a full bachelor's degree, we have those. So they are available at our Stoke campus. At our London campus, we also have our MSc in cybersecurity and our MSc in computer science. So these are the courses that we have for January entry. So they are specific in that. Okay,
thank you very much, Elli, for your time. And it was really means a lot. And we learned many things about Staffordshire University. I believe, student, the information that you were looking for, you got the information today. So without further delay, if you want to process the application, please feel free to contact us. We are located around Bangladesh. We are our main branch is located in Dhaka. We also have branches in Sylhet and Maulvi Bazar. So without further delay, you can contact us. And thank you, Elli, very much. Thank you very much for coming on live and talking about University of Hertfordshire. Really means
Thank you so much for having me, and best of luck, everybody, with your applications. As Faisal said, please get those applications in, and we'd love to be able to welcome you either in January or September next year. So I hope you will have a lovely day. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.